The Kansas City Chiefs fall to 0-1 in the 2023 NFL preseason with a 26-24 loss to the New Orleans Saints. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I'm Harrison Graham. This was a bizarre game, folks, in a lot of different ways as New Orleans jumped out to a 17-0 lead. The Chiefs actually scored 24 unanswered before New Orleans then came back with a late touchdown, goofed the two-point conversion, and then on a 3rd and 5 or 6, Kansas City, which could have ran the ball with 1:05 left or run 40 seconds off the clock as the Saints were out of timeouts, would have gotten them down to 20 or 25 seconds, tried to set up a tight end screen, defensive line tipped it and picked it off. Just a crazy game. I don't care about wins and losses in the preseason. I care about entertainment, and don't get me wrong, I was very, very entertained. A lot of reaction here. We're going to have some winners and losers come out of this game as the Chiefs do fall 26-24. But for those who watched it especially, what is your one-word reaction to this loss? Bizarre, unique, laughable, hilarious? Those are some words I would throw out there because this game had everything. Let me know what your one-word reaction to this loss is. Let's get to some winners here as there was a lot of good things that happened in this game. And round of applause to Justyn Ross. He has not played in a real football game since the 2021 college football season. Had 2 catches for 29 yards, was open another time on a ball that Shane Buechele kind of skipped to him, but had a touchdown as well. That was very nice to see. I think he did himself some favors in terms of having a chance to make this roster. Took a couple of hits as well, which that's kind of what we all wanted to see because with his injury history, the spinal fusion surgery he had a few years ago, the foot surgery from last year. It's one thing to do it in training camp when you're not really hitting, but now in a preseason game, couple of catches, broke a tackle one time as well, had the touchdown. Good for Justyn Ross. I want to see him make this roster. Hopefully he ends up making it. Okay, linebacker Drue Tranquill, who the Chiefs signed from the Chargers in free agency. He was everywhere. Had a sack, had 5 tackles, I believe, was in the backfield multiple times. I think he's going to be a guy that rotates in a lot. Obviously with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, he's not going to be an every down player at linebacker, but I think with those two, Tranquill, Leo Chenal, the linebacker position is in a pretty good spot. And Tranquill, I think, can be used as a blitzer too, which is what Spags did a couple of times today, and one time he got home. So that was exciting to see. I think he's going to be a fun piece on this defense. Richie James, who came over from the Giants in free agency, he was impressive, folks. He was open a lot in this football game, had 2 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. Also on that drive where he did score a touchdown, Blaine Gabbert completely airmailed him on what would have been a touchdown a couple of plays earlier on a play where he got open. So he was getting open consistently, had a long catch as well on a deep ball, little slot go route where he beat the defender, and if that ball hadn't been underthrown, it would have been a touchdown, but it was still a big chunk play. I like what I saw out of Richie James. I think he's safe to make this team and could be a guy that's a sneaky good player for Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes this year. Nikko Remegio, I don't know if he's working his way onto the roster bubble, but this guy has had a great training camp. He had a good game again today. He's doing some things. He's doing some things at the wide receiver position. He had 4 catches, 71 yards, a long of 24, had a couple of punt returns as well. He, to me, is a guy you hope you can get to the practice squad, and ideally another team doesn't poach him. I don't think they would. We always freak out, if he gets caught, someone else is going to get him. And yeah, sometimes that happens, but he seems like a prime practice squad candidate to me. Could he sneak onto the roster if there's an injury or if he just continues to ball out? Maybe. I think the wide receiver room's a little too crowded, but he's a fun player. I've really enjoyed watching him today, and he's had a strong training camp, so good for him to go out there and perform. Let me know who is the biggest Chiefs winner against the Saints in this game. Biggest winner. If you had to pick one guy, let me know down in the comment section below. How about rookie defensive back Chamarri Conner out of Virginia Tech as he was used a couple of times as a blitzing DB, and I like that role for him. I wonder if he could get some snaps on defense early on here for Steve Spagnuolo as a blitzer. Now, I don't know about his coverage skills at this point in his career. We know he's going to play a lot on special teams. That's why they really drafted him. But I think he could be utilized as a blitzing DB from time to time as well. Picked up a sack, almost had another one. So he's a guy that I think could actually see the field on defense a little bit earlier than we may have thought. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest Chiefs news, rumors, live streams, and much more. We've got you covered on a day-to-day basis here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports, so subscribe. Do not miss it, as we will continue to keep you guys in the loop. Let's get to some losers now. Trent McDuffie. L'Jarius Sneed did not play. McDuffie was your top corner out there, and he got beat multiple times. A.T. Perry, the rookie out of Wake Forest, beat him for a touchdown. He got beat on another ball earlier on the first drive. He did not play well. I'm not saying he's going to have a bad season, but for this game, Trent McDuffie did not play very well at all. I thought he was a bit of a disappointment. Deneric Prince, he didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't pop, and I was looking for him to pop in this first preseason game. Had a couple of kickoff returns. I think the long was 20 yards, 2 for 38, so nothing stood out there. 4 carries, 14 yards, average of 3.5, long of 5. Okay, I think he caught 1 ball. Okay. Didn't get a crazy amount of opportunities, but I thought he might pop once or twice. He did not. Need to see more out of him over the next couple of weeks. How about just the starting offense and defense as a whole? I'm not going to put too much stock in the preseason, especially for this team coming off a Super Bowl championship, but the Saints starters beat the Chiefs starters 14-0. The Chiefs defense, starting defense, played 2 drives. The offense played 1 drive. Defense gave up touchdowns both drives, and the offense got a couple first downs and then got stuffed on 4th and 1 when they tried the little send Blake Bell in motion, tight end, QB sneak deal. It got stuffed. So, it's not a huge deal, but in this game, you get outscored 14-0 by the Saints starters. You got your ass kicked. It is what it is. So hopefully they clean it up and come out a little sharper next week. Tommy Townsend, who boomed a couple punts, but also had several short ones. I didn't think he punted the ball that well today. He had 5 punts for an average of 42.8. That's below average. Did have a long of 58, but if you take that one out of there, quick math here, 14 minus 44, he would have been at just over 40 yards a punt on the other 4. That's not great. I thought he had a couple that weren't very good. So he's got one of the strongest legs in the league. Again, it's not something I'm worried about long term, but I just think that he needs to be a little bit better. BetUS is the place to go to bet on games, props, futures all season long. And you guys can create an account today at chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Use our promo code Chiefs125 to get a 125% deposit bonus at sign up, meaning if you put down $100, you'll get an additional $125 for free. Now, AFC West odds, Chiefs heavy favorites at -170, put down $17 to win 10. Chargers at +300, $10 to win 30. Broncos +550, put down $10 to win 55. And then the Raiders at +1,400, $10 to win 140. I think it's the Chiefs division to lose, so chatsports.com/ChiefsBet. Put your money where your mouth is and get that deposit bonus with promo code Chiefs125. Last loser here, Matt Bushman. I think he's a guy who had a great preseason last year. He's had a pretty good training camp this year. Needed a strong preseason to maybe have a chance to make the roster. I didn't see it today. Had an offensive pass interference, which, to be frank, I think was a BS call, but still didn't have a catch because of that. He's gonna have to show more if he's gonna make the 53. Otherwise, I think he's poised to make the practice squad as you look at this crowded tight end room. All right, that's it. Chiefs winners, Chiefs losers after the preseason loss to New Orleans. Who do you think was the biggest loser against the Saints in this game? I might say Trent McDuffie, man. I was pretty disappointed in how he played. Got beat a couple of times, so hopefully he rebounds and plays better next week. Chiefs need him to be good in that secondary, so that's probably who I would say. All right, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. My name is Harrison Graham. Subscribe for more videos, as we'll have you covered throughout the entire season. Appreciate everyone who tuned into our watch party today. With that being said, go Chiefs.